Spy X Family is the type of anime that plays to its strength of super impressionable gremlin girl who wreaks havoc on the innocent exceedingly well. And if you aren't already watching the anime, now's a great time to start, as the second season has produced some of the absolute best we've seen from it, with a scene that truly makes it stand out as the apex of the medium. I want to fuck your dad. Anya hates pedo. I'm rich. Understandable. Have a great day. If you somehow managed to avoid Spy X Family up until this point and have no idea what it's about, then good news, because the plot itself is rather simple, since it really only exists to facilitate Anya being a shitlord little hobgoblin and for her parents to look hot as hell at all times. I'm looking so hard right now. Respectfully, of course. It starts with Lloyd being sent as a spy from the west to build a family in the east and become best friends forever with this dude who looks like he has the same hobby as the lolly from 100 Girlfriends. So he adopts a psychic gremlin, marries the most beautiful gorilla you'll ever lay eyes upon, and also dinner in some cultures somehow makes his way into the family, and he can read minds, so he knows exactly what I'm thinking about. Together, they make up a fun and quirky dysfunctional fake family where many of the episodes consist of progressing the plot that is primarily made up of the trio being silly little goofballs together, sometimes with other characters as well, while also having some serious stuff occasionally happen in the background, but there's no gremlin there, so let's just ignore it. While it began as a good show that left me wanting more once it ended, with the advent of season 2, it's evolved into a great show that even has a slick-ass movie on the horizon, but it makes me wonder why it wasn't this good the entire time, as it looks even better than before in the production department despite most of its staff working on said movie, and why no one seems to be talking about it. Which is definitely not something I'm making up just to make this video because my other videos have failed and I need views. The sexual tension between me and the gun against my head every time a video fails is insane. While the more serious arcs that lack proper shit posting from the frumpy pink goblin have never been the greatest when compared to the relentless little shit at her peak in arcs like Season 2 flips that notion on its head by introducing an arc centered entirely around Yor and her ass eating, something many fans were clamoring for, especially me. Toss my salad, mommy. That manages to entwine a serious story about a dead mafia boss's wife and her son whom Yor must protect, with comedy that stems from Lloyd and Anya winding up on the exact same ship, thus leading to the anime, for once, perfectly balancing a blend of the serious action that comes natural to its premise, developing Yor as a character all the while, and it even has Anya getting the family to inadvertently work together to save the day by the end of it. Wow. The arc, and basically the entire season, is an absolute thrill ride that delivers from start to finish. The narrative elements are much more established after season 1, therefore allowing the anime to dive deeper into why Yor does what she does, digging deeper into her character's psyche as she realizes that she originally became an assassin simply to protect and nurture Yuri, but now she finds herself with a fake family that she's genuinely starting to care for, just as she would her brother, though not on the same level. Yuri when it's time to bang his sister. Because of the fact that the mother and child she's protecting just want to live a peaceful life, she starts to question why she's still doing her ass eating at all. Toss my salad, mommy. Only to ultimately come to the decision that she's not doing it for her country or anything of the sort, but to ensure her new and old family alike can live peaceful lives, cementing the narrative crux of the entire anime of having every character lying to each other before starting to second guess that lie, yet still continuing to do so for their loved ones, like I do to myself. While the execution itself could have used some cleanup, as the entire narrative point is set up for several episodes to go in the direction of her quitting, only for her to instead continue killing, but with renewed conviction, the production side of things more than makes up for those shortcomings, as it looks far better than season 1 ever did, simply by having much more color in the show overall, ridding itself of the drab, dull, colorless vibe it tended to have before. The consistent animation it's known for likewise makes a return, delivering on both the comedic fronts with goofy faces and the heavily action-focused scenes with Yor's extravagant combat being well directed and animated, and these improvements happening in spite of that is a much more impressive feat than it sounds. F-E-A-T. Oh. You see, when a movie is being made at the same time as a TV anime, this typically means that they had to split the existing staff to work on 2 different projects, and because the movie draws in a wider audience and makes considerably more money, most of the A-team, as in the best animators, storyboarders, and directors, are chosen to work on the movie. This then leaves the TV anime to suffer in quality, as they'll still need to adapt whatever material is up next, regardless of how demanding, despite a now limited staff. So luckily, Anya is a simple gremlin. If you're a My Hero Academia fan, then you're already quite familiar with this phenomenon, but Spy X Family itself was already in quite a unique position from other big-named anime from the get-go, in that it uses the staff from 2 different anime studios, and the animators from both had only just finished working on other big projects right before it was time to animate Spy X Family's first season, those being a Kebi Sailor uniform for Cloverworks, it's the foot fetish one, in Ranking of Kings for Wit Studio. This meant that the anime was stressed from the start with little time to craft a truly amazing product, leading to some of the issues I've already mentioned. So the fact that season 1 was able to still look as good as it did, and season 2 was able to look even better, is just a testament to how talented the people working on this anime are, and they do a great job with Yor, so thank God she's in it for the long haul. Some may see the many action scenes throughout this season with Yor and the assassins as a bit overly goofy, but that fits entirely with the theme of the series, and it's something the anime doubles down on by having this dude make stupid noises. Is he a fucking squirrel? Which weren't present in the manga, but what was certainly less stellar than it could be was Lloyd and Anya not getting much development of their own during this season whatsoever, as if the author is just incapable of having multifaceted arcs focused on multiple characters and their development simultaneously, of which is a statement that will have this fandom looking at me like, Spy X Family is a series that excels with its main cast of characters, with the side characters offering up a lot of good fun when paired with them, and Becky is a perfect example of that, with her episode being the funniest and cutest of the entire series, perfectly displaying just how impressionable a little girl with neglectful parents can be, and also how funny she can be. But characters like Damien, Yuri, and the fucking dog getting their own dedicated episodes with none of the main cast to really play off of makes for not only largely dreadfully dull experiences, of which do nothing for their characters, as Yuri's episode versus his few minutes of screen time at the end of the boat arc are night and day, but they're also an awful and underwhelming way to start off a season of watching Damien fucking camp. Oh my god, nobody cares! Except for this one. Fortunately, the rest of the season more than makes up for it, and the adaptation itself understood the assignment, with many episodes in this season feeling like more effort than normal went into them, making for an absolute blast of an experience, and one that I'm excited to see where it goes next with.